Hey, yo.
Adrenaline in my soul. Every thought out of control. Literally, what Triple H is doing is making my mind go fucking nuts, and it's doing it all it can to get me off my feet. Oh!
Do you know, so we, as we said, guys, the ministry are going to be doing a weekly bit of news. I'm going to say it now. I didn't want to say it in the other one, and you're going to fucking love this compliment, bro. The more I've watched you guys, if you're listening on pod, you may want to head on over to be a VOD member for this. I'm getting an Adam Cole vibe off of you today. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a ponytail, but I'm feeling like a couple of times I'm seeing Adam Cole in you. Hey, it is what it is.
Oh, but, keep talking sweet noises to me in my ear. Man. I love that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let you take the reign on this one. Not because I don't know what to say, because we've looked at, we discussed it previously, partially during our reaction show to
recap,
to SummerSlam. But it was the reaction that you gave when we put it into our comic book chat. When I was like, you were talking about something. I think it was Clash, or I can't remember what it was, or the hope for the future. And I was like, see SmackDown, and you came back with the reaction of, my God, WWE have surprised me for the first time in 7 years. I thought it was a bit harsh because I thought SmackDown was being pretty solid over the past 7 years.
No, SmackDown's been solid. SmackDown has definitely been the better show, but it's not surprised me.
But this is it. But it's that excitement that I think I would like to kick off this episode. Your instant reaction and the excitement that is coming with the surprise, with the man, the head of talent relations and the head of creative, Triple H, at the helm.
Yeah, there's no fucking doubt that I was saying on the Movie Mount Rushmore podcast when we were talking about DC that the sword of David Zaslav has fallen very quickly on DC, and you're seeing it. Remember, since I've said that, you've seen the shit that's happened in DC, yeah? Right. Fucking call that shit before it happened, yeah? The throne of Triple H is very clearly being minded in Saturn. Like, we were all like, it's going to take time.
Yeah, Vince's last pay-per-view. Fuck it. That is it. We move on. Like,
never have I... Yeah, literally, fuck it. And
his theme song, but yeah.
Never have I been so happy to be so wrong about a time frame. Because this is such a big, great conversation to have. I've never made a mistake, made it a secret of my utter disdain for WWE's creative direction in the last few years. You've heard it with my little pompous, pokey, monosyllabic answers when we do our prediction show. Who's going to win? Liv. That's it. That's all you're getting from me. Who's going to win? Roman. That's it. What fucking more do you want me to add to something that is
no reason because no reason required? It's that bait.
No reason because no reason required, because you have literally booked yourself into a way that it is so fucking bait that why would I care? Why would I give you my valuable oxygen about having a debate when there's no fucking debate to be had? What, you want me to say 2 + 2 = potato? It doesn't. 2 + 2 = 4. Move on. That's been WWE's booking literally for the last 7 years, bro. I don't think that's unfair to say. It has been.
I get it. And it's, do you know the sad thing about it is this is what has killed the faces, essentially, for WWE. I saw this thing, and I'm not shitting on anyone out here when I say this, right? So Wilkes was putting out, and we've had this discussion ourselves within the ministry. Faces don't exist anymore because faces get booed once they get to the top of the mountain. It's the way they're booked. Mm-hmm. It's the way they're booked that you can see what's coming. It's what killed the Cena run. It's what killed the Roman run that he had to turn heel. Yeah, it's that it was so obvious that they just become super, insert name, and they just become undefeatable. And people are like, well, we've seen this. It's boring.
People seem to like it when it's a heel, though, eh? Looking at you, Roman.
It's weird, but it's like
Mr. Roman Sammartino.
Yeah. But it's that part there that it was just, you knew what was coming. You know when the build is coming, you kind of know when it's coming to an end, and you get okay, right, it's this person's time now. They're going to run with the ball. And then it's like, okay, that ball only lasts for so much. And then it goes back to the other person because they don't give it enough time to, they just put the seasoning on the meat. They don't give it time to marinate. It's like, oh, that didn't work. Oh, change direction. You're seeing stuff now. You're seeing changes.
You're seeing huge changes. And people say, "Oh, you're just saying that because he's brought back a few of his NXT boys." No. Mm-mm. But let's talk about the NXT boys to start with.
Boys and girls. Boys and girls. Let's get it out. It's boys and girls.
It started with the girls.
Yeah.
The whole thing started with the NXT women. I mean, I'm a big Shayna Baszler fan. Oh, we'll talk about Shayna Baszler later. You see, it's all going off.
Yeah, from buried to title match. But we'll get to it.
All going off. I think maybe people are going to disagree. I don't give a fuck. It's my podcast. I'll say what I want. I think Io Shirai is the best NXT women's champion I've ever seen.
So
I love how she held the belt. I don't think she was as dominant as Shayna, but her matches, every single time I saw her, I was like, well, you definitely put the E in WWE, Miss Shirai, because, oh my God, you entertain me. And when you can entertain me to that level, you are going to go up in my rankings. And when you continue to entertain me to that level, it is very hard to put anyone above you as far as an NXT women's champion goes. So for me, she's the best NXT women's champion there's been. Better than Bianca, better than Shayna, better than Rhea, but yes, better than all of them. Don't care. Especially Charlotte. She entertained me by far the most. Now, a little unsung hero of NXT, when she was fucking around with Raquel Rodriguez, I was like, man, Dakota Kai is awesome.
Yeah.
Dakota is bits awesome. She's the total package. She's a perfect heel. She could be a sympathetic babyface because of her build, but I don't want them to do that because she's such a good heel. She's hot as all hell, which, say what you will, we're still in a world where your women wrestlers need to be hot. Nia Jax and the whole looking at you. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. It's the way we're programmed as wrestling fans, right? We don't want bra and panty matches anymore, but we do want to see Alexa Bliss's six-pack. It's just a fact. It's a fact.
Listen, I'm not going to go and be that.
How often have we all been sitting around and the boss comes out and we're like, oh, Mercedes.
Bro, I get it. Do you know what it is? It's the same as, and I'll tell you why I dispute that fact, is yes, look means a lot. But in the same way that Kevin Owens wasn't what I was expecting as my build, and I just fucking love what the guy's done, you can get the same from not so much Nia Jax. Not that I hate Nia. I think Nia has entertained.
Oh, I do. Fuck Nia.
A bit. I'm aware of that. Take a Piper Niven. Yeah?
Yeah.
A slightly different build, but absolutely fucking amazing in the ring. And that's the where I feel like it takes these characters who aren't the quote unquote, let's put it, you know what? Let's not even quote unquote it, the McMahon mold of wrestling. Yeah. You need to break that mold by showing, hey, you know what? Big people can move. Big people can perform. Yeah, let's break that stereotype, and that's what I really appreciate what Hunter had done. So even that in itself shows the change that we can look at it one way, but that mold is being broken on a mainstream view. I'm not going to say it's not there before because I'm aware Kevin Steen was signed elsewhere before. I'm aware Piper the Viper Niven was somewhere else before, but on a mainstream, on a main stage, we're seeing it, and that's really refreshing.
It's super refreshing. Now, we're talking about the big guys, right? Which is what, you fucking big guys with the tan is like Vince McMahon and, a bottle of lube on Valentine's Day and a little reach around. He's like a happy man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but we've all been saying, and this is why AEW I've been such a fan of, because they have shown that body shape does not matter. Look at Darby Allin, look at Lance Archer. Both are great. Look at Keith Lee, look at Adam Cole. Both are great. Look at Adam Page and Kenny Omega, both similar body size, both are great. You can run the full gamut. A professional wrestler is not defined by having a back like fucking Powerhouse Hobbs. He's just not. Right?
You don't have
Look at Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. Radically different. Both amazing. Yeah? That's where AEW got it so right. It ain't about size. Let's create stars. Something that we've been begging for WWE, because AEW is just full of stars, and it's something that we've been like, but we can see that here in WWE. Why are you not presenting them that way? Yeah. And that's been the frustration for the last 7 years. Enter the game. And now he's brought his projects along, and let's be real, even calling them projects is a bit unfair. because these were successful projects. You look at a takeover, and you want to talk top of the list of excitement is fucking Johnny Wrestling. Oh my God. Johnny Gargano being given a mainstream run under Triple H's guidance. I mean, Johnny Gargano being given a mainstream run under Triple H's guidance to me is like Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley in a sauna is to Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It's like my booking dick gets hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is amazing. And now let's look at the other side of DIY. Ciampa. Oh my God. Ciampa's going to get a run. Ciampa's going to
tell you how refreshing it was that he didn't win the title. That gave me a bit of hope, because I'll be honest.
Now, that's what I'd like to talk about.
Yeah.
You beat me to that. Was going to be something I reserved for the end, but
okay.
Fuck it. No. Fuck it. There's no paragraph or there's no structure to this. We're spitballing about Triple H's immediate impact. That is how you book. Bobby Lashley is an established monster. Ciampa did not get run over. Ciampa came out of that loss smelling of roses.
Yeah.
Good booking.
And this
no reverse fucking roll-ups.
Yeah.
No fucking disqualifications. There was outside interference, but it was done in a way which was conductive. Miz put the boot on the rope so the match could go on longer. It's like, well, thank you.
Yeah. It goes back to what we previously said, is that it doesn't have to be that way. And I was just, as you brought it up, I was just thinking of I'm going to see if I can find it. Do you remember that Ricochet fantasy booking I brought up once of how we could rebuild Ricochet?
Mm.
And it's that kind of thing where
hashtag SmackDown.
Was he good on SmackDown? I must admit, I haven't seen SmackDown. I just know that
I maintain what I said. You are never going to see independent scene Ricochet on the mainstream.
You can't. There were too many limitations within a publicly traded company. Too many people to report to, and that's what causes a problem.
But was he showing shades of what he did in NXT? Oh yeah. See,
this is where I get excited, and it's. Do you know what else happened? And I think we mentioned it, but we've not put it out anywhere. And it's a fantasy book, and it's come out straight away. Yeah, and it wouldn't have happened because everyone forgot that Gunther was a champ. Nakamura Gunther. Like, you can just feel the fight. You can feel it. Even if strong style isn't your style of wrestling, you know you're going to
too sweet, that strong style for me, brother. I love that shit.
Bro, it's those bits. Do you know, I think the last, and I'm not sure if Vince booked it, but I think even down to, we knew that Drew was the given for Clash at the Castle, but that feud him and Sheamus had built into it to give you that bit of doubt, and they really took each other to town. I think
they've got great chemistry, those two.
They do, and it's these bits that is just refreshing. And my fear, like when we're talking about rhyme and rhythm, was Dexter Lumis pops up on Raw. Yeah, Io Shirai is here. Dakota Kai's back, and it's like, oh, okay. Kevin Owens is going back to Prize Fighter. And you're like, okay, so Triple H. If you look at the thumbnail, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it. It's got the Raw and SmackDown. It's got the big NXT poster on top of it, right? Because it's like, I was even trying to find the logo of Raw in NXT colors because I'm like, is that what Triple H is doing? Is he just making it NXT on the mainstream? And I was scared that
not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing, but you get scared that it's like, how can I say it? And I don't say this disparagingly to AEW, but there was a point where AEW was just new signing. And that's what got people excited. And this is the same thing here. It was like, is he just ticking the boxes and grabbing all his toys back and then it's going to run out of steam? But
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you've asked the question.
Correctly with what we've just said. Ciampa losing to Bobby Lashley means I'm not appeasing to the fans straight away. I'm giving you some of what it is. And do you know another thing that I've heard? And
yeah, but not only am I giving you some of what it is, the way Ciampa got to this title match wasn't just like, I like your belt. I would like to challenge. It was like, oh no, I actually had to go through some people and legitimately qualify. It's like, what crazy idea that a wrestler should have to wrestle in order to wrestle for the title. Well fucking done. We got there. Thank you, Hunter.
Question. I know you're not a fan of the finisher. What was your views on Ali's top rope finish into the Styles Clash?
it hasn't changed my mood on the finisher, but it was well choreographed.
Okay, as long as you can appreciate that.
Yeah, it was definitely well choreographed. You know, the momentum of a 450 taking you into the next finisher and being, it was a thing of beauty to watch. I still think the finisher's fucking stupid.
Your feels are your feels. Like we have finishers. Again, I respect what the Judas elbow is. The way Jericho executes, it's not for me. But we could do this all day. I could have good vibrations. Anyway, that deviates from the point of what we're really talking about is the awesomeness of what he's doing at the moment. The winds of change.
I'd like to build on one point you've said just now about the way he's booking things and people kind of worrying he's going to do an NXT version of AEW, which is just sign. By the way, side note, with the AEW thing, yes, it was the excitement of seeing people get signed, but it was much more the excitement of seeing people get signed and used in a way that everyone knows they should have been used because Daddy used to be in charge, right?
I'm not saying no. I'm more on the thing of it was just the main convo wasn't, oh, did you see that match? It was, oh, did you see who was signed? It's the same with here. Raw and SmackDown have been good. Raw and SmackDown have been good, but instead of me knowing that Ricochet is looking like Ricochet again, or as close as indie Ricochet as we're going to see in WWE, we're more highlighting that Karrion Kross is back. Do you get what I'm going at?
So, okay, hold that fire, because my next point was going to be now in terms of booking. There was a match that happened on Raw, because I actually watched Raw this week, if you can believe it, for the first time in nearly
Simon giving you a thumbs up, right?
Yeah. I haven't even watched Ups and Downs yet. Haven't even gone as far as to watch Simon Miller yet. I just knew, because you told me last week on the Movie Mount Rushmore podcast, you were like, not when I said Raw is just there, you went, not this week. And I was like, okay, we'll raise a people's eyebrow for that. I'll go and watch some highlights. I was like, well, these highlights are quite good, aren't they? Okay. It's like when a new manager comes into a football team that's not doing well. It's like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes into Man United and people are like, oh, he's great. He's so much better. Look how well the team's doing. I was the dickhead going, he has the same group of toxic players. There's some good grace that comes when a new guy steps in. The wheels are going to come off very quickly. And they did, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, so we've got some good grace. I enjoyed this good grace, but let's see what happens on SmackDown. Oh, shit. But we'll come back and talk about SmackDown in a moment. Then both of last shows last week made me go, well, this is quite good. I will tune into Raw. I will actually watch Raw. A match happened on Raw. But like with Ciampa and Bobby, neither guy came out looking bad. So already that was like perfect. You didn't need a behemoth in there. And it was two guys, which we have both been saying for the longest time, so why are they not being used? Dolph Ziggler versus Chad Gable. What a match.
Really?
What a fucking match.
I can only but imagine.
Bro, they did proper proper technical mat Olympic style wrestling. It was like chain wrestling meets Olympic wrestling. And I was watching it going, this is art, what these guys are doing. They weren't given some wanky 2-minute deadline in order to tell, well, they're not, in the past, they weren't even given a story. It's like, we need to fill airtime, fill the ring and one of you lose, decide, right? You could tell that's how they were booked before. And because they weren't given, one, any time to work with, and two, any story to push, it's just like, okay, well, the audience is going to see that, but it doesn't matter. The airtime is filled. Fucking ABS are happy, right? Nah. These guys were allowed to breathe. These guys, I mean, it was like armbar into headlock, into bridge up, into German suplex, into kick up, into super kick, into kick up, into failed Olympic slam. It was like
technical. Was this last week or this week? Sorry.
This week.
Tune in,
bro. It wasn't a long match. Like I say, it wasn't 2 minutes, but it also wasn't a 15-minute banger. Yeah. But it had enough length for the audience to go, oh yeah, these guys are actually really good wrestlers. It's like, no fucking shit, these guys are good wrestlers. Dolph Ziggler is a guy who, this is how good Dolph Ziggler is. When Conor McGregor went and pissed off the entirety of WWE on Twitter, which led to Roman Reigns saying, bitch, shut up, you are literally the size of my calf, which is still one of the best answers ever. Everyone forgets what Ric Flair said. It's like, You think you're a good wrestler? Why don't you come and fucking do ground and pound with a guy like Dolph Ziggler? And everyone forgets that. And I was like, Ric Flair, the fucking, in some people's opinion, the greatest of all time, just endorsed this guy, and no one's taking notice of it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It was like taking like a passing comment, but it's like a guy who's not main card is the one I would send out to just fuck you over. Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler would fuck up Conor McGregor. That's essentially what Ric Flair was preaching. Whether you buy into that or not is besides the point. The fact is that the question mark, the GOAT,
one of the legends of the game.
One of the legends of the game. One of the most important pro wrestlers who has ever lived has just endorsed this guy, and no one even fucking paid attention to it. I read that. I was like, hello? Can we please take notice of Ziggles? Like, we've all known that this guy has radically underachieved because based on how talented he is. That's not his own fault. That's how he's been booked, right?
Yeah.
But due to booking, he should have a lot more titles than he does. The talent of this guy is insane, right? He should have been the next Shawn Michaels.
Do you know, this is the thing, like, if you look at Dolph, and I'm not going to tangent too much, but there's not much to say the superstar quality isn't there. It's not like he hasn't got the
look, all there.
Frame. He's got everything.
He's got everything.
Go over.
He did go over, just not with the daddy.
Yeah.
Fans love Dolph in heel. Look, imagine when he super kicked Goldberg. Remember when he super kicked Goldberg? We were like, fuck the old man up. We were all behind him. People like Ziggler.
You're right.
People remember when he did that Undertaker entrance and trolled everyone. Yeah, we all booed him and we loved booing him.
Loved him for it,
Yeah. People love Dolph. And then people sleep on Chad Gable. I've said for how long that he is a fucking dark horse of wrestling. The guy is so good. Like, every time he's been given a minutia of a run, his run with Shelton Benjamin when they were going after tag team gold, he was amazing. His run with Jason Jordan, he was amazing.
American Alpha were tops. Yeah.
Right. Chad Gable is certified.
You know what's weird? Is
the
that
biscuit boy Shorty G, not so much. Beating me to it.
Shorty G was a shit gimmick, but the talent was still there.
Of course.
It was still there, and that's what made him nuts, man. It's like, this is a weird gimmick, but you're still delivering in the ring that makes me want to pay attention.
You are a human biscuit, but I see the talent. But no, Ziggles and Chad Gable put on a 5-6 minute clinic, to the degree that it's a match that is going to stay with me. Maybe just because it's such a shock to the system to see a match which isn't for a title and which doesn't have an obvious story being built yet. It's just like the start of something, maybe. It's been so long since I've seen the start of something which isn't a big deal because it's not in the world title picture. That's actually fucking good.
Do you know what?
Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black. That wasn't for a belt. That was just two guys having a wrestling match.
But that was respect. But here's the thing. What happened to just having a match? Like, some stuff develop into a story. Yes, it could have had an interference or something that builds to a story. It doesn't even have to be together. But this is the part. It was the part, and this is what I hated, and I will always condemn WWE for this one. And I know it's not the only one, but it happened. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn happened so many times that they had a match, and they said this will be the last time ever, only for them to meet the week after. And that's the point. Like, it doesn't. You can build a storyline, and I'm not saying interference has to be a thing. It could be just a guy watching or on commentary, and that stare down at the end means the feud is still going on. But you don't always have to be clashing with each other.
There is a lot to be said about the guy booking wrestlers actually being one of the best wrestlers ever and understanding the business, because he was one of the best wrestlers in what a lot of people consider to be the golden age, the greatest age of wrestling. Sorry, we're living in the golden age now, but the greatest age of wrestling. He's lived through all that. This guy has worked with The Rock, with Stone Cold, with The Undertaker, with Kane. He's worked with the best ever, and he held his own with the best ever. So this guy, it's like, you know, the pun intended, game recognizes game, right?
Literally pun intended, yeah.
Literally, Triple H is seeing these guys, and he's not going down the McMahon route. He's like, well, you're all fucking good. I'm going to book you all well.
Well, this is the thing. I think more than anything, because I'm not going to hate on anything Vince done because he built the empire and gave us the land of wrestling. As far as I'm concerned,
you can hate on what Vince has done in modern times.
I appreciate, going back to what you're saying, and it's a good point, is that Triple H was in an era where he realized that it wasn't just two guys on top.
Sink or swim, bitch. That's what he was in.
It was that. And it's a case where, you know, now there's this talk that Karrion Kross might get included into Clash at the Castle.
Oh, please God, yes. Let's talk Karrion Kross now.
Right, but here we go. And there's that USA want multiple titles. What I found, this is what got me really excited, and I kind of hinted at it in the group chat. Coincidentally, I was playing 2K22, which I know you always like to laugh at. And it was Roman versus, press square, random player, Karrion Kross. And I remember this guy gave me the fucking fight of my life on the game. And I was like, but I was meant to crush him. Like, the ratios was like 891 and 87. Like, it should have been a clear winner. And each time I kicked this match, and I was like, they've made the guy as good as he is in real life, kind of thing. And when it came out, and I'm like, he's looking for Roman, I'm like, this is what I've just played come to life. Small tangent of what is madness, but add him into it, add him into the mix, and we're now like, oh, so is it true? Is it going to be two different people taking Roman's title? Oh my God, there is a multiple, and then you're like, but Cody's still around the corner, and you know what, Seth's here. Now we're like, shit, there is a pool of people at the top.
And what Triple H did that was so fucking good, and this is where I think he's going to be a success. He didn't treat fans like idiots. He didn't want to fucking emphasize the fact if this was Vince trying to right a wrong that he did, he would have had Karrion appear, or like Karrion Kross's coming back for 6 months. Yeah. Then he would have come out, cut a promo about how I'm different from the S&M warrior you saw previously. Where's Rey Mysterio? I'm going to hurt him.
It's true, though. It's true. You mysteriously come back to attack Rey Mysterio or Finn Balor. Like, it has to be big guy destroys cruiserweight.
Yeah. That's how he would have been. Hunter, because unlike, and this is where Vince is bad, and you highlighted it with the Sammy Kevin example, Hunter doesn't treat us like idiots. Hunter actually recognizes, because he is a wrestling nerd, he knows that we're all wrestling nerds, and we have a fucking memory for things that are good.
Yeah.
And he's acknowledging that we all know that there was a guy in NXT who demolished fan favorite Keith Lee. Didn't beat, demolished.
Yeah.
Like, the guy was presented as a beast, and he went over with the fans. And Triple H was like, okay, so that worked. Forget the whole fucking S&M mask thing. How about we take that guy and we put him straight back where he should have been in the fucking first place, which is
with the manager that everyone was talking about.
With the manager that everyone was talking about. He's a big guy. Let him fuck around with the big guys as he was doing in NXT.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. When Roman came out to attack Drew and that fucking screen went black and white, and that music hit, this is how I was in my chair. I was like, okay, what's AJ?
And that's what I didn't want to spoil. I did not want to spoil a thing for anyone. I didn't want to put TikTok. I didn't want to put a damn thing. It was like, there's that moment I'm rewatching The Big Bang Theory at the moment. And
nice.
There's that point, well, rewatching to get to the end because I never finished it.
It's a great ending.
Nave told me he welled up. He may have even dropped the
It's a very good ending.
Stuart gives Sheldon the comic, and he's like, "Oh, this is a mind blowing copy of the Flash." And he's like, "You've just ruined it for me. Like, now I'm going in pre-mind blown kind of argument." And I was like, "I'm not going to spoil shit for anyone. Just savor it. Just watch Smack. All I'm going to say is watch SmackDown. I'm not saying beginning, middle, end. Just watch it, embrace it." Again, to quote the champion, drink it in, man.
Yeah.
And that's what you're allowed to do now.
I cannot stress this point enough. This is where I think Triple H is doing such a fucking great job, because he's AEWing. I can't believe I'm saying that in a WWE world, but he is. He is AEWing the shit out of WWE, much like AEW did by bringing in guys who are poorly booked, poorly presented, like the Bearcat, and actually bringing him out to something that goes, "Who am I?" That's how you present the motherfucker, right? Perfect. Adam Cole, you didn't need to change shit. What they did with Adam Cole was just like, oh, they wanted you being
use that song. I'll use this song.
They wanted you being a manager. Oh no! You can wrestle here, bro. It's cool. No. We know you can go down. You can wrestle with us. You don't need to go out and be someone's mouthpiece. You may wrestle.
Yeah.
Cool. Boom. I'm there. Right. So they were. Triple H is now going, okay, cool. So all of these guys who were badly booked before, we don't even need them to go to AEW anymore. Let's just bring them back.
Yeah.
So he's AEWing the shit out of the main roster. And while doing that, he is making sure that all of these stars who didn't leave, like Chad, like Dolph,
they're getting their payment,
like Ricochet, are being fucking treated properly.
Kevin Owens is becoming the prize fighter.
Bro, the pop he got on Raw.
Yeah.
The
Just
pop.
Yeah.
The pop. Like, this tells me that... Do you know, there's two things I can see actually happening in the Triple H era, which have got me salivating at the mouth. Both of them involve title belts, unsurprisingly. Kevin Owens being a world champion again.
I know the other one.
Say it with me.
Shayna Baszler.
Nope.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You say it with me.
Go.
Whoa.
I did say this to you. Remember I said this to you? Shinsuke Nakamura has a moment now with Triple H, and you're like, I think it's too late. And it's like, nothing's ever too late in wrestling. And I think the key point to me to say nothing's ever too late in the world of wrestling, Kofi Mania. Like, if books, like, listen,
Kofi Mania, you are correct quoting Kofi Mania, but it is also a very cheap get out of jail free card for any debate because while correct, it's such a fucking whisper in the wind.
But what I'm saying, it was book shit after that. Like the title reign itself wasn't, but the build up to it tells you that anyone that you think is too late, even the fact that you're bringing up Dolph Ziggler again, when we were literally like the Dirty Dogs or just some tag team to just fucking pass time, has just given us a match that is worth watching. But do you get what I'm going at with this? And what I also really love about this Triple H era in this madness of people coming in, I've looked at Cash at the Castle, and I was going to post another picture in our group. We know the main is Roman versus Drew. Now, we knew that from the minute it was there. Because it was like
maybe carrying as well.
Well, possibly. The second match...
I would prefer that, just as a disclaimer. We've already seen Drew Roman in the UK.
Yeah. Well, on a house show front. It's not.
But we've seen it. We know how this story ends.
Exactly. This I agree with. But the second match...
head of the table.
I am bringing that shit right back. On a scale of putting out the card, the next two matches that Triple H has done, and this is so different to anything you'd have got from Vince, are two ladies matches. The first one being Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan for the women's title.
Shayna needs to win that.
And then you give us the Raw Women's Champion. So it means that the champ's going to be there, even though she's not defending her title, with two other awesome former champions in the like of Alexa Bliss and Asuka, and this is the part
that Asuka live, bro. We're going to see Asuka live.
This is the part that I said you were gonna love, because not only can we say "Hey Bailey," but you get to hear your favorite theme song live because Io Sky is going to be there. As long as they don't get a faction song by that time, you're gonna hear it. Otherwise, sadly, you may not.
You know what else we're gonna hear? On this day, I see clearly.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to hear
so
that again.
Fucking excited for that.
And this is the thing. It's like a card is being built and not ever.
Hey, proper fucking card. Like, bro, I am actually... the two WWE events we've gone to in the UK have been like, I'm going to have a good time. First time because I'd never been to one. Second time because now I know what to expect. We can banter with the crowd and be the heel audience, which was a load of fun.
We had a lot of good people turn up that last time, to be fair.
Both occasions we've had good cards, but we can both agree the matches have been fine.
Yeah.
This I'm looking forward to.
And I love that because you were like, we're just going to a glorified house show. And now you're like,
this is not a glorified house show.
I'm pumped for the card, and this is what it needs to be. This is what it needs to be. And the fact that he is building, he's tantalizing you. He's giving you little teasers. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. It's like Vince would never start with the women. That would just be, it's in. Like last minute, you would literally be on the train to Cardiff.
Match 2.
Yeah. It'd be like on the train to Cardiff. Oh, by the way, that's happening. You're seeing matches, and neither of them am I able to go like, that's a given. I kind of feel that Bayley's winning because it's the new faction, but it doesn't mean it's a guarantee because you got fucking awesome talent on the other half. Liv is a champ, and it's like, are they going to take the title away from her straight away? But as I said, the same way
they should.
Listen, I agree with you, but the same way where like, Triple H has to give Ciampa the title because it's a new way. I think this is what we're going to get. I think it's one of two things. We're ever going to see the formation of a tag team of the two best friends, that is Ronda and Shayna, and that could be very dangerous for the women's tag scene. Or it's going to be once again, you're going to kind of legitimize. It's going to the heel turn for Liv is coming.
Two horsewomen.
Yeah.
Two horsewomen.
And the sad thing is, Vince dropped the other two because it could have been the 4 horsewomen versus.
He could bring them back.
No, he can't because I swear Marina Shafir's in bloody AEW.
Shafir's in AEW, and she's really good.
Yeah. Again, drop the ball. But each way, Liv can come out of that title, and she's going to go heel. I guarantee you, Liv is going to go heel if this title run lasts longer.
Oh, she's been booed already.
Served to her. She's going to get her ass served to her and creep out with that title. And it makes for a good heel champ.
Do you know what it's
back to Monster Baszler?
Yeah.
There is no loss for Shayna in this.
No. As long as we get Elimination Chamber, Shayna, that woman who entered the chamber and dismantled everyone.
Bro, we're talking about the Shayna who beat the Empress of Tomorrow.
I mean, beat is an understatement.
Asuka.
Destroyed Asuka.
Yeah. I don't think Asuka, if I remember rightly, Asuka didn't drop the title, but she was injured. Like, she got fucked due to Shayna. Like, this is what we're talking about. This is who I know is coming back.
Oh, God, please let it be. This is such a wrong that they are writing if they do that. I can't tell you. But
how can I say this? You in the Vince era, after Elimination Chamber, she was no one, and I say this respectfully. A Shayna match, just I don't want to say thrown, but Shayna in a title match, Liv's going to take it. Here, you know that it's not some neutered Shayna Baszler. It's going to be an absolute monster. The same way Liv versus Ronda or something. It's literally round 2 of this for Liv. And again, do you know what this means? It legitimizes Liv to a degree. Like, she's going to be the annoying champ. I know she's going to be the annoying heel champ, but it's like, you're hanging with some real fighters out here. This is nothing but good for you.
Either way, we win here. Either Shane is the monster again, which she could still walk out being the monster without the win.
Which also leads to her versus Ronda. Because she can now be the cocky one, like, I done what you couldn't.
Oh, God. So much good that happened from this. Oh, God. So this
that
is what I mean.
That line alone.
This is what I mean. Like, fucking booking.
Yeah.
Bro, there are going to be some casualties of war, though, with Triple H. Theory, I think, is first in the firing line. Which makes me sad, because I do like Theory.
Here's the thing. NXT Theory, right? Remember, Triple H called him back down? NXT Theory was part of the way. The way was like one of the... after Undisputed Era, the way was the next big thing in NXT.
Never worked for me. I kind of started tuning out of NXT
thing, people love it. People are posting it now because it's like, hold on, Dexter Lumis
Johnny
is there.
Wrestling's coming back.
You know what I mean? They're both on Raw, so everyone's like, oh my god! Like, either way, people are either looking for DIY or the way. Either way, they're happy for Johnny Wrestling to come back. I think Theory.
You're not if you're not excited for Johnny Wrestling coming back, you don't like wrestling. Like, it's as simple as that.
But it's exciting. You've got this angle of anything can happen. Hello?
Yeah, you're there. Sorry, you froze.
Oh, I saw you freeze. I didn't even know. But it's either angle, like the fact that you've got Johnny Gargano more than likely coming back to Raw. He could go to SmackDown and just shock the shit out of everyone. But the fact that he can go to Raw and there are multiple angles for him. Whereas before it's like, oh, John Morrison's back. Okay, yeah, him and the Miz. It's either going to feud or going to tag.
So here's a question.
I actually want to see Morrison come back.
Yeah, he's done fuck all on AEW, so I would agree with that. Here's a question. Cody, is he going to be a casualty of war? Because remember, he got pushed and he's been brilliant, but he was Vince's shiny new toy.
So
And there's a bit of an ego history between him and Hunter.
Here's the thing. I think so. Here's one thing that could put your mind at rest. Cody was a bit nervous, and I think the first thing Hunter done was hug him. He was like, "Hey, welcome back." I think that's what I've heard. I also believe, very, very adamantly, I believe Hunter convinced Vince to bring back Cody. He's like, "Look, the guys there, it's a coup." And I believe one thing that Triple H does. Let's quote the authority. He does what's best for business. Now, I think there's a gentleman's agreement that was there. Cody is going to be champ. It's something he's done.
He has to be.
1 was champ. 2 was no more Stardust. Right?
Yeah.
My only regret in this whole thing is that Hunter retired, because I think there's a part of it that could have Hunter just stare him down and be like, "You think I didn't see the little games you were playing with a sledgehammer? It's time to play." Hunter physically can't do that. Like, it's not retired by choice, it's retired by health. And that's the one sad bit to it. You know?
It's very sad. But look, I don't want to dwell on that. What you're saying is reassuring me that Hunter's not going to...
I think there's a gentleman's agreement that's there that I don't see. And I think it would be stupid in Hunter to renege on it. Like, why would you?
I agree.
What do you have? What benefit do you have apart from ego, which you can't even settle in the ring? You know what I mean? It's not that he gets the chance to bury him to boost his ego. What do you have? What do you have in it? Give the fans what they want. He saw the Mania entrance. He saw what the fans were doing for that. Why would you go turn your back on that?
Let's finish with this, because I agree with what you've just said. 3 dream surprise show-ups at Clash at the Castle. Go.
So John Cena gave us a tease. I'd love that.
Okay, that's one for me too.
I mean, it's sad because it's
you do realize I may lose control of all bodily function if John Cena shows up.
My sad thing is because I can't do what you're doing, right? And I would just love that moment to just say that Triple H is treating the UK fans and he brings The Rock down just to walk out. I don't need to see anything.
Don't tease me.
Bro, I need it. I need it because I can't make it to Hollywood. It hurts.
Oh, is that confirmed now? You're not making it to Hollywood?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the tickets were brought today. No, I didn't get one. That kind of seals it. But like, there's a part of me that's still kind of toying with it. We'll talk about that more off screen. The other one, sadly, I know is not available just yet. But I think if you're going to talk Triple H and who he would have brought back, it would have been Adam Cole. Adam Cole would have been the Triple H return.
Adam Cole is so much better in AEW, and I loved Adam Cole in NXT. He's even better in AEW. He is so good at the moment. Leave Adam alone. I'll tell you mine. Cena, obviously. Like, and again, you may see me having like what looks like an anaphylactic reaction to something.
Kind of what Montez was doing next to Seth, right?
What the fuck was that?
I saw this video on Instagram. I'm like, what are you doing? What am I meant to buy into that? Like, what was that meant to be?
What the fuck? That was the one weird thing on Raw. I was like, you two. So this isn't Vince's fault. You two really are just annoying pricks, aren't you?
And I hate it because the guy's so fucking talented. But
he's so talented, but he's such an annoying schmuck.
He annoys the fuck out of me.
He's so weird.
But yes, okay. So
Cena, Cody
would be big, and it's not out of the question.
It's not out of the question. Not for a match. Just to stare Roman down. And then here's the thing: you don't need to have Cody at Mania fighting Roman now, because we know that The Rock is coming. Apparently, it looks like it's fucking confirmed now. Oh God, let it be confirmed. Please, God, let it be confirmed. But look, you could have Cody at... Oh, here's some dream booking. So Triple H is all about making the pay-per-views a big deal again. Tell me, AJ, what pay-per-view, arguably more than any, is in need of being made a big deal again? Huh?
Survivor Series.
Uh-huh. Roman holding 2 belts. I can't fight myself. I'ma go home. Adrenaline in my soul. If Cody's ready. Here's
what I would love, and this is what I think Triple H could really just shit on Roman's party for. is, well, okay, yeah, you can't defend the Raw title against yourself. You can't defend the SmackDown title against yourself. So from SmackDown, contender A, from Raw, contender B, yeah, you need to pin. Like, I need a 2 out of 3 falls match. Do you remember, like, when Jericho Benoit had that ladder or something? It was a triple threat, Jericho Benoit Angle. And it was for 2 titles. Kurt Angle came out with both, left with none.
Yeah.
Do something like that to Roman.
Yeah.
Like, let him earn his stripes. I'm not saying he has to lose both, bro, but USA want a title back. He can win one. He doesn't have to win both.
I'm down with that. I'm definitely down with that. And make Survivor Series a big deal again by having Cody fight Roman, and then Roman can hold the belt for The Rock at Mania. So that fixes that problem. Now the dream. Are you ready?
Go.
I know you don't watch enough AW to get that one. I'm better than you, and you know it.
MJF would be big. MJF would be big.
No, OJ. MJF wouldn't be big. That is cataclysmic. That, you know,
he's not out of contract, bro. This is the thing. It would have to be a Forbidden Door moment. Tony, do you know the amount of money? Okay, that's what you're looking for.
I'm talking dream booking here. Forbidden Door this shit with MJF.
That would be big. That would be big. There's a part of me that says, because we didn't get to say goodbye, this is just old school me. And it's something I can't tick off otherwise. Give me Taker, man. I don't know what I want him to do, but just just a glimpse of it, like, because I never got to see it, and I can't because he's retired.
I know.
That's the one bit I'm on the complete.
That's your childhood talking. That's beyond the scope of realism, unfortunately.
There's nothing in it for it, you know. Unless Taker just makes a lot of money out of meet and greets before the fucking clash, because he could cash it like hell, bro. He's at Comic-Con, like, he's here for the money right now.
Is he at Cardiff in Comic-Con?
No, it was the San Diego Comic-Con. I saw he was there. Like, he's
I mean, that's a short ride for him, you know.
I know.
It's not a fucking plane across an ocean.
I know. I'm aware of this. And the last time he was a plane in England, we don't want to talk about it too much. But, but yeah, so that's the one. So one last thing, just because it is wrestling news and we would be unfair to not mention it. Rumor has it, TK's acted a bit with Vince McMahon recently. I don't know if you've heard this.
Tell me more.
He's starting to get a bit erratic. It's not been 100% confirmed, but there are whispers out there that he's not as approachable. You know, there was that whole thing where talent was allowed to be creative, and he's now taken that creative control a bit more. And I think there was. I don't want to say it's the panic of Triple H, but apparently it's been getting worse over. I think he's said it in a statement that he's scared more than ever of AEW talent leaving to go to WWE, because I think he
for sure
change. But yeah,
I'll say this, big man to admit that. It's a very
it does. To be able to
he's
say,
legitimately terrified of the competition.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say this at the top of the show, and I completely forgot to say it. But this has obviously triggered it. With Vince around, my favorite expression in wrestling, the rising tide raises all ships. With Vince around, it wasn't applicable. AEW were the best wrestling promotion on the planet for the last few years. It's just a fucking fact. Vince didn't give a shit because he acted in a world where, as you gave with the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, he didn't respect fans' intelligence, and he certainly, for ego reasons, wasn't even going to give credence and acknowledgement to the existence of AEW. Now, when I say existence, acknowledging existence, I'm not looking for Vince to go start cutting anti-AEW promos the way that AEW cut anti-WWE promos. Not what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is acknowledging them by, oh shit, they're doing well, we need to book better. You know, I was thinking that how good AEW have been, especially in the last fucking 12 months. He'd be like, okay, something needs to change here. We need to actually start booking better now because these guys have overtaken us. This isn't right. We are the top dogs. Nothing. With Triple H there, the rising tide raises all ships. I think has got huge validity.
Yeah.
Tony Khan is shitting himself, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But he's in a position where the shitting, I'm hoping, is a short-term thing where he's a bit like, fuck, what do I do? There's actual competition now. Because it is actual now. The competition is.
I think what makes it is that it's an open market again, because the stuff that Vince used to do, like wrestling, is now allowed. The weird shit that Vince used to do, apparently all that's off the table. Yep. You can knock on Hunter's door, and now it's not like, oh, I'm just going to go to AEW where I can be someone. You can be someone on either side again, and that's what's interesting.
So interesting. It's what a wonderful time to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
You've got AEW on one side, and you've got a creative WWE led by Triple H on the other. What an amazing time to be a wrestler. Shit, man. Fucking maybe Okada goes to WWE. Who the fuck knows?
Anything is possible.
And Switchblade ends up there. Who knows?
You know what? Switchblade at the castle would be interesting, because Switchblade just staring Roman down. Because could you imagine Survivor Series? That's the way to open the forbidden door. Sorry to do this. I can't fight myself. Okay, cool. Another brand walks through the door. You give me Switchblade versus Roman. Okay, shit. Now you're talking. Now the forbidden door's open. Now he's open for business. I mean, on the other side, you could give Mox walking down, which has history in itself.
Yeah, I mean, look, for WWE doing Forbidden Door, I mean, that's the dream of dreams, but I do think it's going, even for us, that's going a little bit too far.
It's fantasy.
It's too fantasy. Triple H is still a company man at the end of the day. Like, while I love what he's doing, he's still going to remain true to what WWE is, but he's clearly booking in a way which is saying, so we need more people watching us. And not only that, to get more people watching us, we need idiots like the Ministry of Wrestling to actually be talking about us.
And that's what we'll do. That's what we'll
do.
Do.
And then Tony Khan will listen to the Ministry of Wrestling and be like, oh, they're talking about WWE. I need to book better. Yo, Kenny, are you fixed yet?
Yeah. So, because history has proven that wrestling writers listen to the Ministry, Nico wasn't lying when he said that. I'm going to pitch it.
That's a fact.
Ricochet versus Reigns. And Ricochet come so close to winning, it's unreal. IC champ, follow up. Yeah, anyway, basically, you can build it. I'm not going to read my prediction because it's too scattered. But let's build the stars. Let's build with Ricochet. Let's see Jinder Mahal screw him. Let's see that. Let's build superstars. Let's see it again. I feel it already. Do you know what? Screw it. Let's say
give me a face Sami Zayn.
Bro, but hear this though. Hear this. Let's just be real. Both mid-cards matter again. Lashley has just had a fucking awesome match with Ciampa. No, but hear it. Lashley and Ciampa has just been a thing for the US title. On the other side, you've got Gunther and fucking Nakamura. Like, it doesn't get better on either side.
No, so you're right in saying it doesn't get better on either side. So it's still, especially on Gunther's side, it's still carrying a little bit of stink from the previous regime. These are still very much pre-Triple H things. What he's doing is it looks like he's getting them to work. Yeah. Nakamura Gunther is enticing. Now, if you give Nakamura a third Intercontinental Championship reign and actually do it properly this time, happy days. Even happier days as if Shinsuke actually ever gets a fucking WWE title belt.
If he gets a third reign, after that drop, he's going to the main card. I guarantee it.
He has to. He has to.
Do you know my thing about the top of the card? And I know we're getting near the end. The top of the card can only change post-Mania. And that's the problem about having too many guys in the mix, because they kind of get lost in the shuffle until this main event happens, because that's what it's all centered around at the moment. And that's
yes, but at least, as you said, at the top of the card now, you've now got just more than the obvious. You've got Drew, you've got Karrion, you've got Cody, you've got Seth. There's a few guys who you could intermittently interject into the action between now and Mania.
Yeah.
And it would all make sense. And any of them could beat Roman.
100%.
And looming in the background, you've still got Theory.
Yeah. Guys,
it's so exciting. It's so exciting.
The SummerSlam recap showed some angles of what we hoped would be gone. And it's 1 week later, we're already seeing the change. So, Hunter, Paul, whichever way you want to be acknowledged, we thank you.
Keep playing the game.
If by somehow your ears do happen to land on this pod, which I believe it may have landed in someone's ears before.
Samoa Joe.
There are many.
You let my puppy dog shit. I see you.
Yeah. MVP. I saw that with Bobby's title reign as well. Like, shit happened. Like, we've called shit, guys. We're not just here chatting shit for the fun of it. So anyway, guys, that again, spread the word. The ministry it's on a rebuild, apart from the prediction show, but we are back. We are back giving you weekly content. So we do thank you for tuning in, and just spread the word. Let them know that the ministry's back. We are another avenue of wrestling talk. You're going to see some changes to the backgrounds and everything. We're working on it. We're coming back strong, just like the WWE. Until the next week, guys, I am the one AJ.
I'm Nico Lero. Shout out to the game. Keep it playing.
Yeah, we out. See ya.
See ya.